Nope. Gonna throw that flag?
Hold on, where you at, big dog? Where you
Yep.
at? Where your
Do
time?
that. Hey,
I'm so far behind
What
that
clock are you on?
I just need you to
I'll be
announce
quiet.
what's happening.
here's the thing. I'll be quiet because last time, Dan, you were me.
No,
Last
it's
time
fine.
No, I'll
It's
be
fine.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your clock, David?
Nate's gonna
Right
come
now,
with
18
some
seconds. There's just a flag.
crazy
Nate?
conspiracy theory here in a second.
Wait a second. David got an antenna for $12. This is in the future now. This is crazy.
It's just a regular antennas have changed, guys. I don't know
Nate,
if y'all know.
Nate had the refs in this game yet?
I mean, definitely on that one drive. Yes, offsides on 4th and 5. That's very.
Don't be offsides.
That's very convenient.
Yeah, don't be offsides. That's the rule on that. Don't be offsides.
Don't trip him up. He wasn't gonna catch the ball anyway.
Yeah,
Bro,
not at all.
let's
I mean,
see.
all I know is that on a drive we saw a flag on an interception that was pretty touchy, and we saw a neutral zone infraction on a field goal.
Do you realize the split second thought that it would take to be like, I want to help Tom Brady win this game in this way and it not be blatant and like lose my job?
It's been blatant. They don't care.
Oh wait, I missed. I wasn't paying attention. Nate has already said people are trying to.
Yeah, he already said
that,
it on that.
That the refs are in the pocket.
So did you not see that dude offsides, or is it just us? You didn't see him be actually offsides?
It's like calling a lane violation.
Listen,
but so no,
we're not gonna fall for this conspiracy for
Mr. Book call the everything by the book. You didn't see that, or you wanted to cheat for not Tom Brady? Okay. I'll play it by the book.
They don't have a timeout. They don't have a timeout.
They had one.
They gave it back. They gave it back to him.
I believe.
I thought they used their last one.
I believe.
All right, so we're live. Let's get my brother. What's going on?
What's up, people?
Everybody.
We are live.
So I want first to start off and say that I always, if I'm rooting for a player, I always get too sweaty. I just want to start by talking. I always get too nervous of people I don't know. And it frustrates me. I have no stake in this game. Did anybody gamble? Anybody got some money on this game?
I wanted to when I saw that if you put $10 that our offensive lineman scores a touchdown, that $10 bet would be $200. And then when I saw that offensive lineman drop that ball in the end zone, I said, I'm glad I didn't put that little music because I would have put more than 10. And I'm glad I didn't put that down because I'd be betting makes you upset when you don't have to be. That's what I realized about gambling. It makes you upset when no one asked you to be upset. This is a sporting event.
I really want Kansas City to win, and for that very reason, if I bet on this and had like a stake in this game, I would be so upset right now, especially because I would have taken Kansas City and the 3.5 points.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's 4 quarters. It's 4 quarters. A lot to be played.
Yeah.
I really want to hear about the person that took the over during the national anthem. Because if you took the over, I think it was like 250 to ones. You can make some decent money.
And it definitely went over, no?
It did went over. It was like a minute 18 was the line.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's 2 singers.
Fam.
Oh yeah, you just catching that?
David, you're doing a great job of living in the future, bro. David's doing a great job being in the future
I'm watching the play right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was waiting for Nate's reaction because I know that's.
I've been trying to get this link everywhere. What happened,
guys? Guys, what you don't know is this. What you don't know is this halftime is looking a little bit different than what you thought it was.
Wow.
Let me say let's talk the game for a second. So Shannon Sharpe said something that I didn't.
That is not catchable.
I didn't fully.
You guys are way in the. You have no idea what I'm looking at.
That's never mattered.
Shannon Sharpe has said something the other day that I was reminded of in hindsight, which was the fact that top to bottom, when you look at it on paper, the Bucks are, as he said, a more talented team, top to bottom. What gives a significant bump a lot of times is the Mahomes effect, right? Where it's like, we know that he is clearly, 9 times out of 10, the best player on the field in the world. So you just add an extra bump or two. But top to bottom, offensively and defensively, you say, like this Bucks defense with Winston was hot. They have the weapons. And so it's just like, goodness gracious. And right now that pressure that pressure on Mahomes is the game changer.
Yeah.
He has no time to throw that ball.
Where are y'all at now? What do y'all see?
Oh,
it's 20-6.
Okay. Did y'all see when Tom Brady ran up to Honey Badger, was in his face jacket, jaw jacket?
Yes.
Love it. Love to see it.
It's pretty confident.
Little trash talk.
I mean, when you can throw the ball anywhere.
Here it comes. Go ahead.
If they're gonna call pass interference, because there's no way.
Nate, we don't log you out, bro. If you're not gonna come with some logistical,
what you're doing
conversation.
Is you're also what you're doing. You think you're like anti-Brady, but you're really hating on people trying to beat him. You're saying you guys aren't good enough, and you've been cheating. Like if you were my friend and I was against Tom Brady, I'd be like, hey, you making me look bad. You think you're making him look bad, but you're actually making me look bad, and I need you to stop because you're not helping the way you think you help it. Because you're saying every team is not good enough to beat him. They need help. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady needs help. You're not good enough to beat him. And it's like, no, maybe their other teams just aren't as good. Or maybe I'm good enough to beat him.
I'm going to secretly send you guys a link, Dan and David, if he continues with the nonsense. We're talking objectively about sports and not witchcraft. My goodness.
They are going back and forth, and I love it. Like I love a little pettiness. Look at that finger pointing time. You don't want to do that. He's got his finger pointing at Tom Brady. You don't want to do that, man. When you're great like that, you don't rattle the cage. You don't rattle the cage of the goats. You don't do it.
Yeah, especially in a game where like he feels the pressure, and if he can make the game smaller, where he's just playing this like petty kind of like I'm just gonna beat him.
Right.
It takes all the pressure off him. It's just like a backyard football game now for him. And
what I do think is that if the Chiefs, which I still have significant confidence in the Chiefs be able to come back because they could score 30 points in a quarter, is that both sides of the ball is going to be significant because right now they cannot stop the pass for the Bucs. Mm-hmm. And so if the pressure is going to continue to maintain high with no blitzing, right? Because they're able to have Bucs can have 4 people only with no blitz and get pressure. Now, also, if you're listening to us live, if you don't know that there are 2 backup tackles for the Chiefs, that's important to know because you got 2 Pro Bowl type players for the Bucs on the ends, and that's been crucial.
Can we just talk about this mask real quick? Everyone else has a normal mask. The Chiefs head coach has a gobbler version of the mask.
Boy got a Toucan Sam.
He's had the worst versions of protection
always
this whole season. First, he had the screen with it was fogged up, right? That was him. I feel like but that's the new wave though. Everybody's been doing the ones I guess give you a little bit more air to breathe or whatever. Right. I don't know. It's a bad idea either way.
I mean, it's got to make it easier to talk if it's off your face a little bit. But so he has one with like the skeleton inside of it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I will say this about this game. I think I said if the game is a low-scoring game,
you did say that,
and Tampa Bay wins. And I'm saying this right now. This is not going to be a low-scoring game. You're not going to hold the Chiefs to 6, to let's say 12 points in a game, which means there will be an offensive explosion.
Right.
And if I'm I did not pick the Chiefs. Let me be very clear. Statistically,
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you kind of had a slide. You was like, if it's low, you go Bucs. If it was high, you went Chiefs.
But I did pick the Bucs.
Okay, and Dan, you picked the Chiefs.
I mean, my heart says the Chiefs. So yeah,
I'm talking about before this game even started. Yeah, you were like, right. And I as well, and Nate.
I felt strong about that pick during the first 2 possessions. I was like, the Chiefs are gonna figure this out, and Brady's gonna keep this like kind of like mediocre offense, which he's had the entire playoffs. His offense has been mediocre at best, but man, he's the GOAT.
But what I'm saying right now, I'm calling right now. This game is I don't feel good about the Bucs. Yeah, I'm about to say I don't feel good about the Bucs holding this lead.
Oh, I do.
I think I do, and I think what will be like the long-term effects of this kind of Super Bowl. Bruce Arians is proving like get out of the way of your coordinators, which he has said so many times of like, I hired the best and I stay out of their way. And it's just so bizarre that like it's gonna take a Super Bowl win for people to do that. Of like you hire an offensive coordinator that your quarterback likes, and then you let him do that job. Todd Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. Let him do his job. The defense has been great. And,
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, Leftwich, Bowles. I don't know who the other coordinators are. But
all I know is neither one of them are going to be head coaches next year, and that's trash. That's what I know.
That's what we know.
Yeah, it's insane. Real quick, anybody saw any commercials that you were like, "That's a good one"?
No.
What did I chuckle on?
Why are you so angry? There's been a few good ones. You didn't even get excited about the new Marvel movie that's going direct to Disney with that trailer.
I just think that Super Bowl commercials are just very overrated in general. They're fine, but there's just no need to lose your mind, especially like stuff.
No one's saying lose your mind. We're just saying, did you enjoy anything?
Were there any good?
But people do that. People lose their mind over Super Bowl commercials.
We're not asking you to be quick. Yeah. We asked you were there good ones, and then you were like, you know what people think?
No, there's no such thing as a good commercial for me. I just don't.
What?
I don't like commercials. I mute them.
Hey man,
mute
your life is a commercial. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you want us to mute you,
bro? Y'all look in the chat for the new link, man. Look in the chat for the business.
Let's see this.
How have we made it 5 years? This is crazy.
Wait, I don't see nothing yet.
David, there is no link. God dog it.
I want one to be.
There's just a man who needs to be off of this chat. I don't like commercials. My goodness. Let's talk for a second here. Let's talk Super Bowl halftime show. Before we get into the weekend here, I was looking at a list and I only remember like 4 of them. Can you think back to in the last, I don't know, decade, or if you've seen a classic one on YouTube, one of your favorite either entire show or one of your favorite moments from a halftime show?
Yeah, Prince. Like it was raining. That you can't beat that. It rains on Purple Rain. You can't beat that. All I want to say about this halftime I'm about to say is apparently the Weeknd spent $7 million of his own money to make a halftime performance that we will forget about.
I saw that.
You don't dance. You're not like the performer. Like
he's not a performer.
He's done. Like I've seen him on like Late Show with Colbert. There's been like these cool, interesting like sets or whatever. But dog, I want you performing at Super Bowl. I don't care about the set design.
Bro, we've had people jump off rooftops, run through the building, catch on fire. Like what are you gonna do?
We remember Left Shark because it was dancing weird. We don't remember the set. Yeah, he spent $7 on the set that we will forget about.
Bro,
I remember Beyonce dancing.
Beyonce's top 3.
And I remember Janet Jackson.
That is the ones to remember.
Because
it is Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. I forgot that.
It hit me in a special place in my heart when I was 12 years old.
Prince was fire.
Prince was fire.
Yeah. I one of the favorite moments that's so hilarious to me is when they did Coldplay. Mm-hmm. It was Coldplay, Beyonce, Bruno Mars.
Right.
Yep.
And even Coldplay could tell, like, we're out of our depths. We're gonna sing one song up top, and then they disappeared.
As they should have.
Right, but it was just so funny that even they were like, "No, we get it." Here's our song.
Are they doing the Nickelodeon? Are they doing the Nickelodeon broadcast again tonight?
I know that I just saw the clip. I don't know if they're doing it or if they just did it for this one thing, but yeah, we talked about it last time. That wasn't bad. I wasn't mad at that.
No, but also like Bruno Mars should do every halftime show.
Bruno's a performer.
Until he's dead, he should be guaranteed. He should have to turn them down. That's what it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember feeling bad for Coldplay because Coldplay is one of them bands. I don't know if white people hate on Coldplay, but that's like a black people kind of mess with band. I feel like it's like one of the white people like, Coldplay. Black people like, y'all missing out. Y'all not hearing it the same. It's always so funny the bands white people hate. Black people like, you don't even know what you're missing, player.
B-side, man. Let's see that B-side, fam.
Right. But I always felt bad because Coldplay could have done it by themselves another year. But when you put them next to Beyonce, just like this, what you call it when they sung the national anthem. I don't know Eric Church that well, but I know Jasmine Sullivan, and that's not fair for him.
No.
That was not fair
That's
for
right.
him. I saw that. I
No.
said, "Oh, because I heard she's a singer. Like
Mhm.
singers talk about her like
Yeah.
nobody messing with that."
Yeah.
So when I saw her with him, I said, "I get it. This the whole let's unify America." But like now, all you're doing is telling black women, "Hey, you gotta water yourself down in order to make it," because that's what that was. And he's not bad, but compared to Jasmine Sullivan, it's really not fair.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
Yeah.
I felt bad for that man. And he was playing a whole instrument and everything. You
Whole
still don't
thing.
care.
Is
Worse.
there anybody that hasn't done a halftime show that you want to?
Jay-Z,
Mm.
but not anymore. I don't want to see old Jay-Z.
Prime. If he was in his prime, he'd be like, yo, he put on a
Yeah, give me H to the Izzo J.
ooh H to the Izzo. That'll turn the
Yeah.
whole pot up.
Yeah,
I think it was like a '90s throwback of like Linkin Park, Jay-Z, like Blink 182.
Mm.
Just bring all the
Talk to the
like,
millennials.
yeah, like nostalgia back.
yeah.
Like Shakira would she's been there, but she could
She
like
did.
hold it down.
Yeah.
I want a whole show of reuniting people. Like one after another is just another reunion.
Outcast. Boom.
Outcast.
Oh,
Insane.
We tried 2 years ago.
Outcast should have happened in Atlanta.
No, I'm
That's
saying
when
I'm basing off of his premise.
That's when
Yeah,
I knew
no,
they'd
no.
never get back together. You always hear reports Outkast might get back together. If they didn't
Yeah.
get back together for the
For the
Super Bowl,
it was a
we
wrap.
done. Give
was a
that
wrap
dream
up.
up. It's over.
I
We'll never
also
see them again.
you got to blame Maroon 5 for that. Because they were just like, we're not going to share the stage with Maroon 5. If they
Hold
had
on,
a-
what we're not gonna do is disrespect Maroon 5. See, this is another band that white people hate
no,
on.
Maroon 5 is awful.
No,
Songs
Song-
about Jane was great.
no. See, I don't think you understand. That's like the black that I ain't gonna say I ain't give no pass to the barbecue. But songs about Jane to black people is as close as you can. That if you just came to a barbecue with the songs about Jane album, they wouldn't necessarily invite you to barbecue. They'd be like, "Hey man, you are an ally. There's a good chance that you're an ally. There's a good chance."
Songs about Jane's great.
You're still underselling it, but go ahead.
But they haven't done anything since then. Everything since then has been very average at best. So
We don't need a lot of hits. I don't know if you know, black people will say the same songs from the 70s. If it's good, we still Electric Slide, bro. That song came out so
Black
long
people
ago.
still bumping Fred Hammond's
Earth, Wind, and Fire is still
Chapter
a
one,
special
chapter
place
two.
in our heart. You don't, you want us to produce so much?
No. You give us 3 hits, we'll rock with you, baby.
All right, so I'm a little ahead of y'all, but I'm currently watching The Weeknd on his $7 million set. And
does it look like it's worth $7 million?
look, I told you, ain't nothing he gonna do is gonna be worth $7 million to me because I don't like any of his music.
Who is he
Wait,
bringing out?
$7 million.
He
Wait,
spent
tell me
$7
about
million
his own dollars.
extra to make
his own
this
money.
set what it should be.
Okay, so it's like the 3D thing.
Yeah, if he bring out a hologram of anybody, I promise you I'm gonna fight him.
He's got to bring out at least 2 people. He's got to.
It better be because of COVID reasons. They better be actually alive, but from
He
their
might
house.
He might bring out Tay Tay and Drake.
Wait, so he spent $7 million of his own money to
Own
do
money.
His
this?
own money to do the performance that he felt the Super Bowl required.
Is he in the middle of the stage right now?
Yeah,
You know, the Super
Could
Bowl.
you-
Go ahead.
Could you imagine one of y'all doing a stand-up set and being like, guys, I'm gonna spend $2 million to make sure that this
Nope.
stage represents me well?
and what sucks? No, I absolutely couldn't. What sucks is me and The Weeknd basically the same thing. He don't dance, so we both just stand there with microphones and project. So I'm like, it's not worth it, bro.
Oh, he's at the top right now. He's at the back part of the high part of the stadium.
Kinda creepy.
Top of the fans.
I'm currently, like I said, I'm a little ahead of y'all. And he has, all right.
That's quite
again,
an entrance.
It is.
Can you guys hear if I turn my volume up? Hold on, I'm gonna try it. Just see.
Yep, me and him have the same dance.
Are
moves. This
those
is what I'm talking about.
robots? Or are those real people?
See, we reaching the age where that we don't know the answer to that outright. I'm pretty sure those are real people though. If there are robots, let's pack up and get on that spaceship that Peyton Manning was on. We got to get up out of here.
Those gotta be robots, bro.
Nah, that's real people, bro. They got
You
the
think
helmets
so?
on. Them like masks.
Bro,
Bro, that dance move that's his only move. That's the only move I've ever seen him do.
Just like
Oh, yeah.
that.
That little shuffle.
Yeah, those are real people. You know, you can't do this for 15 minutes. That's what you can't do.
Bro, he's got to bring somebody out
I'm expecting Tay Tay and
who
Drake.
dances.
Oh, who dances? I ain't got nothing for that.
Yeah, you have to dance a little.
You got to bring
bit.
out C Breezy then.
Nope, can't do that.
Oh, Chris.
Hey, this is all right. This is for
What?
the comedian friend. Don't he look like Richard Pryor a little bit?
A little bit in there.
I've been saying Jack after everything he does. Hey, Jack, listen, let's just sit back and enjoy whatever's about to happen, Jack.
And there's nothing wrong with certain contexts not being like Luther Vandross to me is top 3 singer of all time.
Absolutely.
But like the halftime show isn't necessarily the context which you want to see him shine. Right?
Mhm.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, fam. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think that it's because of the precedent was set. Like, wasn't Michael Jackson one of the first ones to
One of the
perform?
first.
So it's like this is how we perform at halftime. We don't just
This
sing.
is a performance, yes.
Perform.
Right? I mean, shoot. And then when Whitney leveled up and made the national anthem what it was, Whitney Houston has one of the best national anthems of all time. And so
I'm so bored right now. This is so bad.
It's never a good sign when you have to zoom out.
Let's all figure out where the $7 million came in.
Oh, I mean,
the jacket. The jacket alone has $4.
Yeah, that's $4 million. He spent $4 million on the jacket. He got rubies in the jacket.
Man has vibranium in the jacket. So that's gotta.
He about to do that same set thing that he did on Colbert.
So
let me not hate on this man.
I know this. I know it's supposed to be like a city, but the first 2 rows of the city kind of look like tombstones.
Oh, I see.
It's a little morbid.
That's not what we want.
All right, so is this the first guest?
Yo, I want to take credit for what I just read, but it's my brother, and he said, and I quote, "The Weeknd sounds like Chris Tucker doing Michael Jackson." I want to take credit for that so bad, but I also want to spread the genes that is my younger brother.
They literally were like, "Hey, your halftime show is gonna be so boring. You need to go into this mirror room and spin around with the camera."
Hold on, he probably do some, because if you saw him perform on Late Night with Colbert, it was a dope performance because of the set. But I'm like, again, it's not like a Super Bowl thing. I wouldn't say.
I'm gonna throw up soon.
Yeah,
one of these Max people has to be a different person.
I know the director for this was like, guys, I know it's gonna get us through. We're gonna make him look like he's holding the camera, and it'll feel kind of like social media, and we'll do that for like 30 seconds, and then we'll send in these plastic surgery masked men to mosh pit a little bit, and that'll get us through half the song. We'll be good.
How on
even
scale,
dancers aren't dancing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this is lip sync?
I hope all of it. He's not that
100%.
great. Not that great of a singer, in
so?
my opinion. I don't want to hate on this. Let me just say this though. For what he brings to the table right now, he's getting 110% out of it. Let me be very clear about that. Like, he's getting everything he has out of this performance. I just thought that there were other people that could have brought a more to the table.
He's gonna do the whole.
Go ahead. I
was just gonna say I'm intrigued. It looks like it appears as if at this moment his entire performance is going to be above the fans, right? Like that's what it's like, not central stage, not in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? At this moment, which is different as well. So now everybody's got to look at the big screens and or try to turn their whole body, which would be very weird. I think one of the tough things about, let's be very clear, this is not an easy gig. This is like Jimmy African performing for the Pope. So let's start with that.
Right.
Number 2, on top of that, there's something about understanding that this is the biggest game for the country and for many countries around the world who enjoy somewhat of American football. And lastly, you got to have hits that transcends all the lines. And I'm speaking for myself and my experience. I've never thought about Weeknd doing that.
He has songs that get stuck in my head.
Sure.
But he does not have songs that I'm like, if I'm in the car, I'm not turning the station. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Also, again, I'm very deeply upset that I've not seen a true dance move.
He ain't giving you that, bro.
He did the little shuffle thing.
No, he's not.
Not on Black History Month. You're not gonna just do this.
He's not. No.
Just disrespectful.
If he does this as a, who's the last person? Let's talk about this. Who's the last one to do a solo Super Bowl show?
I think it was JC.
Prince.
Okay, so that
it was controversial that Timberlake did it.
Oh yeah, and it was trash. That was not a good one.
It wasn't
damn,
good.
Wait, he did that by himself?
He did it by itself.
Dang.
Because everybody was.
He didn't bring out NSYNC?
No,
No.
he did some throwbacks, but he wasn't backed up.
Look, man, we're not gonna make Lance Bass pop up again. Lance Bass has ate away all his NSYNC money, and he's very happy with his life now. I'm not gonna ask him to do no spin moves or nothing like that now. He shouldn't. He went diamond. You get to sit back and relax the rest of your life if you go diamond.
So that's probably what 4 or 5 years ago. Timberlake did a solo, didn't go great, and then you got to go back to Prince, but Prince doesn't count because he's in his own world.
I think
And he plays several instruments.
It's just Prince, Michael Jackson, and JT.
Oh, well, that's not even the same stratosphere. That's not even in the same.
And that's what
and
what
The
people were
Weeknd.
saying.
Yeah, you don't have enough to. Don't get me wrong. Justin Timberlake has hits, but you don't bring enough to the table.
No.
With
That
like
Prince and Michael Jackson.
And the thing is, maybe he could, but he didn't. Maybe he could, but he didn't.
He didn't.
He did not that time.
I remember that. That's right. He started in that tunnel. He came out the tunnel dancing.
He was wearing that weird shirt.
Yeah.
And then he dropped a country music album the next day or something.
That's right.
He did. Yeah.
Just disappointed everybody. You don't understand. He disappointed white people, black people. We was all like, we believed in you. You let us down.
Because there's only like 40% of black people who still rock with him. So you gotta barely hold on.
That's true.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this here, and based off of what I'm seeing so far, I don't think it's a big hot take. I was more engaged with Katy Perry's performance.
She has hits.
Well, not only that, let me start with that, talk about it, but the movement. Like she had all type of big diamond.
Yeah.
Like it was
She's a big tiger, right?
Yeah, she had all type of stuff going on. I was engaged at least. I knew her songs. Who did she come out? Katie wasn't by herself either.
Missy Elliott. Is it Missy Elliott?
Oh, fam.
Yeah. That's performer. Let me throw something out here that maybe none of us want to hear, but it crossed my mind. I gotta say it, guys. What if we're just too old to know he has hits? Anybody think about that?
I mean, he has radio hits.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between a song I like driving down the road to in my car versus like stadium performance.
Yeah.
No, that's fact. One, I am too old. I'll speak myself, bro. I enjoy being old. It brings me.
It's one of my favorite traits of myself.
I have such a reverence for old. I'm embracing it to the max. I've got some gray hairs coming in up top. I'm loving that. So yes, I don't doubt that at all, David, at all. When people talk about Future being the GOAT, I was like, do I know a song about Future? But
I know him, and I don't think so.
This isn't. Hold on, David. I know you're in the future, but wait a second.
I am in the future.
Hold on, wait a second, David. Hold your tongue.
I ain't
right
saying
now,
nothing.
we're watching it live. He's got the mass dancers down low.
Mm-hmm.
This is creepy.
Feels very cultish.
Yeah.
Do you think they're wearing masks because of COVID, or is this part of the costume?
That's part of his. That was part of his.
His whole
storytelling. Campaign. When he had nose, looked like it was disfigured.
I ain't gonna lie. If I was into his music, I'd probably be really. If I was even slightly in his music, I'd be like, okay, this performance looks like people having a good time.
Sure.
This might be one of those where, like, dang, I might just have aged out of this portion of football.
Okay. It's perfectly okay with me.
I want to leave that open. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I do want to leave that open.
Can we just talk about that decision though of the creative team that put this together? If we are too old and disconnected from culture, think about the people that are like the target demo that are watching the Chiefs and Tampa Bay Buccaneers play in the Super Bowl. It's American football.
Super old people and super young people. This really is not for us then. Because the young people are all Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes.
Anybody that's probably 40 up is Tom Brady. So yeah, this is just a class. This is an age war. That's what this is. And they were like, let's give something for the TikTok teens. And I do mess with this light song. I done played it so much the last 3 weeks or 3 months.
It's the only song of his that I like.
And it's also because it sounds like a song I would have liked in the 80s. So I can, you know what I'm saying? It gets stuck in your head. This is one of those songs they definitely did the math, and they were like, "What produces a hit? Let's put those numbers into the computer, beep beep boop boop boop, and then do it."
I can tell you this, which this is how the internet works. But this halftime show is going to be a polarizing. People are going to be like, "Mess with this heavy," or they're going to be like, "Didn't mess with it at all."
I honestly feel like he spent most of the $7 million on fireworks. Now I'm looking at his performance. I
Yeah.
can't see where the money went.
The jacket is a nightlight. Listen, it's
Yeah, it better be a rocket pack in there. He better fly away.
man has Iron Man suit on.
Also, I can't be the first person to bring this up, but it's like the CDC is like, hey guys, don't hang out with more than 10 people at a time.
But hold on, though. Everybody looks about 6 feet apart for the most part. They are very separated. They took up the whole field. They're incredibly separated.
It's 12 guys on the whole field. That's how separate they are.
If you look, like they have this aerial view right now I'm looking at, and no one's that close to each other.
That's a fair piece of the puzzle. With the mask on, they're doing all right.
Yeah, and he got on gloves. Listen, this could be a CDC win. We're not looking at it right.
He's not a dancer, so it's not like he's going everywhere. He's staying, within his bubble.
Good for him. I'm seeing the end of it.
How much you think he got? How much you think he made for this?
It better be more than $7 million.
They don't make money.
Really?
They don't make money. I'm 90% sure you don't make money when you perform for the Super Bowl.
Let's make money like
they don't pay you for it.
They don't pay you.
Honor. It's like, hey, would you like to do this?
Yeah, and then I'm sure your record sales go through the roof.
Absolutely.
The night of. But
if your record sales go through the roof on versus battles, they definitely go through the roof on Super Bowl halftime shows.
Wow, that was it.
So he did it solo.
That was it.
You mean to tell me you from Canada and Drake can do a whole State Farm commercial, but he can't hop in and do a song with you?
That was one of the good ones.
That was
a good one. That was
humorous. It was simple.
Drake don't miss when he be acting.
The Doritos Matthew McConaughey was silly.
It was silly.
But it got my attention.
Yeah. We can all agree the worst one was, right? We can all agree. The worst one.
Remind us.
The oat milk.
Oh, in the field, there are no cows.
Yeah.
There are no cows.
That oat milk one, I was like, somebody should hire me right now to do whatever it was to design who had the idea to that. I guarantee you I would have said, don't do that. I got a better idea. And it's the opposite of that. And you should pay me money for that.
My favorite billboard right now in the city. Nut milk is not milk. Nut milk is not milk. Have y'all seen this billboard?
That's a real commercial for that?
No, it's a billboard.
It's a billboard.
It's so funny. I laugh at it every time.
That's wild. Yeah, no, this oat. I don't know if that guy is the oat milk, the Oatly. Is he like the sponsor, the person?
He better be
CEO.
the owner.
Yeah, that was the worst thing I seen. All that hard work, people try to get you to not drink cow's milk, and then you throw it away with this dude in this trash commercial.
He had an $8 keyboard he was playing.
Yeah, I heard Oatly is overpriced.
Oh.
All right,
I would never purchase it, but I heard.
Where does that performance rank on all-time halftime shows?
Bottom 10.
Yeah, I mean, what are we? We're in our early 30s. Without thinking too hard, it's definitely in the bottom tier.
What's the parameters in the last? It's just all time Super Bowl
commercials? No, not all time. I mean, you talking about halftime shows?
Shows. All time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, halftime shows.
All time. Is it in the bottom half?
From my recollection, I'm speaking from my, what I've seen.
That was better than Justin Timberlake's, and I don't even like these songs. And I think it's because I had such high expectations for Justin, and he failed us. And this looked like visually, it looked like, oh, okay, like I can't dance. Let me hide it with probably $5 million worth of fireworks, $2 million worth of dancers, and choir. Nobody danced though. It was just like people running around, and he did his little side to side move. I don't know, man.
It was like synchronized running.
Yeah. Yeah, it did look like it looked like synchronized running. They didn't even march or nothing. Go ahead.
I agree with all of your points, and I echo that. But I'm giving it for a different reason. I'm just gonna give him the black man bump over Justin. But yeah, if I'm thinking of the ones that I've seen in the last decade, right, 24 to 34, is definitely the bottom half for sure. Just as far as engagement and overall fun of the halftime show. Not knocking his music or his craftsmanship and things of that nature. But as a consumer watching the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday, it was tear.
He got everything out of that he was like. One of the more disappointing ones of the last few years for me actually was the Atlanta one. That one was disappointing.
Is that Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Was that them and with Big Boy and
who else was
and Maroon 5? Was that all? Is that the collection?
Yeah.
I think because I had such high expectations, and it was like, oh, y'all only got Big Boy from Atlanta, and everybody else is just kind of just people. And I was like, this could have been way better.
So you had more of a local anticipation, more so than just the overall show. So it was a different reason.
Like when you're in a certain city or a certain place, or you have an idea, like are you getting everything out of everything provided, right? So I feel like the Weeknd, for what he brings to the table, he got everything 110% out of what he was supposed to do. Now, is that my cup of tea? Not necessarily, but like I go to the Atlanta one, I don't think Atlanta got 110% out of what was available to us.
Sure.
Now, granted, if I remember correctly, a lot of people was like really, that's when we was really on our Kaepernick, and people was turning it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
that might have had something to do with it.
And, yeah.
So it could have been. We definitely got like the B squad or whatever. So.
Yeah, we got that Vin Baker USA team.
If you're a listener and you pick that up and you remember that and you're like, yo, you have one, you are true to it. You know about that Vin Baker, the Vin Baker gold. Or they didn't win gold. Did they win gold?
No, they got like bronze or something like that. Nate and Dan, where does this rank for y'all? We get out of here.
It's bottom half. It was fine. I really think it's probably an age thing. I don't really know any of his songs, and the masked guys were kind of creepy.
Well, go ahead, Dan.
I was just gonna say it kind of like lines up with like the first half of the game. It's like kind of unwatchable. It's just kind of boring. No one's really doing what they're actually really good at yet. So it's appropriate. So maybe it gets a point for that.
Yeah. Nobody's getting fined tomorrow.
Right.
No one's, you know what I'm saying?
No think pieces were written for this.
Yeah, no think pieces. Like, and at this point in time, let's be honest. After everybody's been through, is it just a nice performance? Exactly what this.
That's what exactly like, Twitter was.
Look at y'all out here just singing. Like that's good enough.
That's why Russell's here. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, before we get out of here, this is big time. Russell, big time. Let's talk about the second half really quick. 21-6, second half. Chiefs start with the ball. We know that they've been able to explode many a times. Predictions, any changes? What do we anticipate? Nate, I'm gonna start with you real quick. What do you anticipate second half?
I mean, Chiefs definitely come back
to win.
Yes, I think they come back to win. I think they're gonna start really fast. I think Andy Reid's the better coach, and I think we'll see that in the second half.
You think, Dan?
I think that the Bucs win by 2 touchdowns, and they come out and Patrick Mahomes throw an interception on this first possession.
Goodness gracious! What do you think, Dave?
For different reasons than Nate, I think that the Chiefs come back and win this game. Nate just thinks it because he has hate in his heart that he cannot relinquish.
Yeah,
it's probably why. Are you 6 foot tall?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think you are, and I think it's the hate that's shortening you up. But anyway,
not anymore.
You had a chance, but it's not there. No, I think the Chiefs go back, and I think they win the game.
All right, so you which is perfectly fine. To be clear, you're switching your prediction, right, David?
Basically, because I don't. Well, no, I know what I said. I'm saying based on what I've seen.
No, I hear you. I got you. Pre-game, post, and I'm gonna do based on what I'm seeing. Interesting flip too. I think that they come back for the lead, but fourth quarter, I think.
Are you watching what I'm watching?
I think 90%. I think 90% of the world is going to be upset in the morning, and Tom's going to get a 7th ring.
Yep.
And I think I think it's going to be a close score. I had said 35-30 Chiefs, but I think it's going to. I think the hole is pretty big, and that defensive pressure just might be too much.
Yep.
The backup tackles on left and the right
scrimmage.
side.
The line scrimmage.
And if we're honest, apparently it said Mahomes requires surgery on his foot.
On his toe.
And he definitely looks like it a little bit. Like he's not moving. So I didn't know that going in, but that don't help either. So.
Well, anything else before we get out of here, team?
Guys, it's been fun. Go Chiefs, but I just don't have hope. Okay, go. Okay.
He's whole minute late. Catch up, man. Get in the free. We appreciate y'all rocking with us at halftime. Enjoy the rest of the game.